Getting lost is horrible. Have you ever gotten lost? How did you feel? I was once very much lost on the way to a job interview. I put the information I thought was correct into the sat-nav and pressed go, and I drove. I ended up being 40 minutes out from my destination that I was meant to get to, and I was only just in time for my interview. To say that I was stressed is an understatement. Working out the plan for our lives can feel a little bit like trying to put in the right information into a sat-nav when you don't know the end destination. You can't do it, right? Trying to work out your future though is a bit like that. You can't have it all sorted. That is both unrealistic but also really stressful. There's a part of the Bible called the Gospels. There are records of Jesus spending time with his friends and families and what Jesus did. One of them is called Mark, and particularly at the beginning, Mark 4, Jesus goes to this place called the Sea of Galilee. It's a place where he calls the first disciples, his first friends. He says, "Come follow me and I'll make you fishers of men." The amazing thing is that these guys literally leave their nets and go. They go follow Jesus, which maybe seems like no big deal to you and me. But to them it would have been a huge deal. Leaving their business, that was their financial security, it was their income, it was the future for them. And they were willing to leave it. I'm sure they'd heard of Jesus, I'm sure that they knew who he was to a certain extent, but they didn't know the full plan. They didn't know that God and Jesus would use them as the foundations of the church. Yet they follow God, they follow Jesus, and they say yes to him. It's amazing, isn't it, that they would leave their security to go for a future with God and Jesus. And Jesus gives them the first step. He doesn't give them the whole plan. He just gives them the first bit, and they say yes to that. Yeah, hey Cherie, I'm still lost. Where is this place that I'm meant to be going? The Bible has a lot to say to us about the plans for our lives. There's a part in the Bible, Jeremiah 29, that talks about God having good plans for us. It says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope." That's the kind of plan I want for my life. But sometimes when we think about the plan that God's got for us, we somehow think that it's this sort of hidden secret that we've got to work out. Or maybe like me, I'm worried that I've messed that plan up. I'm worried that I've made too many mistakes and now that plan is no longer an option. That's not what God says. He says he's got good and perfect plans for us. They're not based on whether we've done a good job or a bad job. Like Jesus' friends, we are also offered the same invitation that he offered them. Come follow me. That invitation is open to you, it's open to me. But when we say yes to that invitation, we won't necessarily know all the steps of the path. It might just be the first one, which is saying yes. But Jesus is in control. Jesus knows what is going on, and as his friends followed him, he led them into a life of meaning and purpose. Jesus is a little bit like the sat-nav. We don't know the end destination, but we can trust that the device will get us there. Jesus is somebody that we can put our trust in as we choose to follow him, knowing that the plans he has for us are good and perfect plans. One day, we'll be able to look back on our whole life, all the days, and see that God was working out a good and perfect plan. But that's sometimes hard to see, isn't it? When days seem boring, days seem insignificant, hard and maybe challenging. But God is working for our good each and every single day, even when we can't see it. Saying yes to Jesus is putting our trust in him. In a relationship with God, following Jesus every day of our lives, we can trust that he is working for our good. Sometimes it seems overwhelming, the picture seems too big, but today you can make that first step by just saying yes. Like the disciples did on the shores of Galilee, we can say yes to that relationship. It is stepping out and we are putting our trust in God for the rest of the picture, knowing that he is going to do something good and significant in our lives.
Hey, there you are.
Oh, hey, how are you doing?
Good. Glad you made it.
I know, sorry, it took a while.